Hello, my name is Gabriel from GabakUSA. In this video I'm going to teach you how to use the Antminer. So if you want to use something like that, I'm going to teach you step by step. So how to connect it, what kind of power supply you should use. Also, I'm going to show you the pools if you want to shine one pool or if you want to mine solo. I don't recommend mine solo because it's going to be like very difficult. But also, I'm going to show you all the tricks and tips that you're going to need in order to make it work. Also, I'm going to show you how to measure the power consumption and everything that you need. So that way, you're going to have a firm knowledge in order to start. So let's start with the video. Hello, my name is Gabriel from GabakUSA. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to use the Antminer. So if you have something like that, this is the first time that you're having something like that. So I'm going to explain you everything little by little, step by step, how to connect it, how to measure the electricity and watts, so you can know the power consumption. Also, I'm going to teach you how to connect it to a pool, so that way you can get your money on everything that is related to this. So once you have all this, you're going to be able to start getting earning money. So in this case, I'm going to change the camera. So I'm going to show you how it's connected, everything that you have to know, the different power supplies, 220, 120, 110, and maybe if you have another power supply for computers. So I'm going to explain you everything that you need to know in order to make it work. So in order to do that, I'm going to change the camera. So as you see here, like you can see, also I'm going to show you later on the temperature and everything. So here, this is the device. So as soon as you take it out of the box, this is what you're going to see. Here is the model. In this case, I'm going to turn it around. So as you can see, is the S7 F1. F1 is because it has just one fan, as you can see in the front. There are another models that comes with another one in the back. At least in this case, it seems like it's not required. At least it can. I seen it working in 50 Celsius, so it's fine. Another thing that you can see is the model here on the top. I'm going to zoom in so that way you can see it better. So as you can see here, you have the sub model. In this case is S7 F1 because it's one fan, like I said, and here this is the speed in hash power. So in this case is 4.73 hash power, tera hashes. So this is not very powerful, but it's a used device that I bought just to start making this kind of video. So also, as you can see here, you will see the model and everything. So besides that, I mean, the latest one is the S9, at least 2017, almost 18, and surely there will be new models, but basically all of them are basically the same. You're going to have different brands. So usually this brand, at least today, is one of the best ones. There are another ones that are cheaper, but are less powerful. So your best bet will be Antminer. The company is Bitmain, like you can see here. So Bitmain, so that is the main company, and usually they are kind of expensive. I mean, if you want to buy like a brand new one, it depends. I mean, if you can get it in the factory, it might be like 2,000, 3,000, and it depends of the year, of the season. If there is a lot of demands, you may find these devices for 5,000, 6,000, 8,000. It depends. But usually the cost, it might be around 2,000, 3,000, no more than that in factory. Usually I saw like an offer of the S9, the latest model, for 1,300. But usually here, at least in US, they're going to be more expensive than that. Like I said, here you have the warning. So basically in this warning, what it says is as soon as you take it out of the box, you are going to do this. And if you don't see, you don't hear anything that is rattling inside, that means that it's okay. Otherwise, return it to the vendor or take it apart and see if you can fix it yourself. Maybe there is something loose and you can fix it. But as you can see here, there is a small sticker for the warranty. So if you don't want to void the warranty, maybe it will be a good idea to take it to the vendor. So here, this is all aluminum, so it's like a huge heatsink. But other than that, it's pretty light. So I think it might be like 8 pounds, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be that heavy. So basically, that is the anatomy of this. So here you have the Ethernet port. So in case if you want to make it like a wireless, you can do that if you install here an access point. If you use an access point, you can convert this unit in wireless. That is cool. So here you have the lights. So the red light means that it lost the connection. I'll show you that surely later on. Here, if you see the green one that is blinking, everything is okay. And here you have the two LED lights for the Ethernet port. So, and here you have the reset. So basically everything is going to be set up and you're going to configure it, stage it in the GUI. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So that is very easy. And here you have 3 cars. So one car, all the 3 cars, as you can see here, you have the heatsink inside, but these 3 cars, between all of them, you have the 4.73 terahashes. So you have to connect all these connectors here in order to make it work, and you have this cable that goes to the main board. So this control all the power that you have here. You can access to internet like that. So how do you connect it to the power? So you have 2 options. One, you can buy one of these. This one works great. I have been using this Antminer for 3 or 4 days with this power supply. Works great, so very good. The thing is 1200 watts. So usually it will be better maybe to have a little bit more, like 16 watts. Usually that is why I bought this one. So because otherwise you're going to reach the maximum capacity, and if you use your car 100 miles an hour all the time, surely the life expectancy of your engine will decrease. Or with this power supply, surely if you use it to the maximum capacity, surely the life expectancy will decrease. So usually I think this power supply, the warranty is like for 10 years, but this is meant for computers. It's not meant to be used like that. I know there are some people using this kind of power supply, but if you don't have anything else, you don't have any other option, okay, give it a try. Otherwise, I recommend to use whatever comes from factory, so that way you're not going to be overheating or overusing the power supply. So here you have the connectors. The connectors is the PCI, as you can see here. It's the PCIe and the CPU. So this is the connector that you're going to use. So basically you have to connect all those cables that you have hanging here, and that's it. So it's very basic. Just make sure that you're going to use this switching mechanism, or the lock mechanism. It's going to go here where you see this little protrusion, as you can see here. And basically that's it. So once you have them all up and running, connected, it should work just fine. Just make sure if you're going to use a power supply like this one, you're going to use this connector, as you can see. So here I'm using, if you have the locking mechanism here on the top, you're going to see here 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'll try to make it focus. So it will. There you go. So as you can see, if you come from the left to the right, it's 1, 2, 3. And then it's the number 3 with the 4. There you go. That you're in focus. Make sure this is on the top, 3, 4, and then you make it work. So, and it will be, usually the power supply is good because, it's a little bit better than this one because it's less noisy, but other than that, I prefer this. So I'm going to talk about the power supplies that we have here. So when I bought this thing, the salesman, he said, "Oh yeah, it will work," and he didn't say that this power supply was 220. So in my case, at least where I am right now, I have just 110. So I have to keep using this kind of power supply. So it depends where you are, or maybe if you have 220, you will not care. But just make sure that you're going to get the right power supply. So here I'm going to make a zoom so you can see it better. So you can see both Bitmain technologies. The model is almost the same. So one is B2 and the other is A3. As you can see here, A3, B2. So the little one, this one is 110, this is 220. As you can see, input 176 to 264. And here we have two inputs, 100 to 140 or 200 to 240. So that is good. As you can see, max in 240 is 133 amps max, and in 110 is less. You will have 100. That's it. So basically, this power supply usually they are rating differently depending on the power of the electricity that you're going to give them. So as you can see, 16 and 1600 watts. In theory, that is what they say. But you make sure that you know that there are two different kind of power supply. One is big, the other is short. So if you see one is long, 220, 110. So I'll show you basically how you can connect this unit. I'm going to try to zoom out so that way you can see everything a little bit better. So basically, in the little one is a little bit different than the other one. So as you can see here, they left one of these cables out, as you can see. So here you have 4, and here you have another 4. So as you can see, 4 and 4. And you're going to need 9. So as you can see, I'm going to put it here. So if you connect it here, no, I'm not going to connect them all, but not all the way. But as you can see, it's a little bit strange if you compare it with the other one. I mean, I'm not saying in a bad way. It's just the way it's arranged. So as you can see, and I have one cable that is missing. So make sure that you're going to power up all these 3 cars. Also the main one, the main controller, the one that you have here. So like I said before, it's weird because they should be all together. I mean, this cable is the only one that should be apart, and this one should be, like here, something like that. So that way you can connect. But basically, other than that, I mean, that's fine. You can connect it and it will work. So that is one thing with the 110, like I showed you before. I like more the 220 because the cable is arranged differently, but I'm going to show you. I mean, it's no big deal, like I said before. Here, you don't have any cable hanging or anything like that, just is all nice. In this case, you have this cable that is hanging, this one that I assume that is to keep it up and running, like I showed you before with the other power supply for the PC. But in this case, I like this arranged better because you have, you have 3 in each one. So you can connect these ones here. Okay, as you can see, I have everything connected, and just one that is left out. That it will be just for this. So this is very easy. I mean, like I said, no big deal. Nothing is not rocket science, but that is how you work. So one thing that you have to make sure, if you're going to use this or you don't know or something like that, you're thinking, okay, I see the fan is spinning. Like let's say that you connect this 220 in 110, you will see that this is going to spin, but it will not power up the unit. So everything will be off, and you will think, oh, something is weird. So that is what happened to me. I didn't realize that at the first time this unit was 220, and then after that I said, okay, that is enough. I'm going to get the 110, and that's it. So now I'm going to show you basically how everything works, and of course we are going to play around. So first of all, we're going to connect all the cables here, and the last one goes here. Just make sure everything is fit. I mean, everything fits just fine, and we are going to be almost ready to go. So now I'm going to show you this kilowatt. Like I said before, it's brand new. This is the second one. So one bad thing, I mean, it works great, no problem, but if you are going to leave it like running 24/7 or something like that, next day it was dead. So I found out that this unit was off, and I was thinking, well, what's wrong? And I found the unit was broken. So this is going to be the second one. So if you want to keep it, I mean, to test measure the wattage and everything, fine for a few minutes, then unplug it, let it run directly from the outlet, and you will not have any issues. So basically that's it. If you want to buy something like that, this is the best brand that I found. It has very good ratings. I mean, a lot of stars on Amazon. So I'll try to leave the URL in the video description. So now I'm going to plug it in here, and I'll show you the power consumption. There you go. Okay, as you can see, we have 125 volts, 0 amps, 0 watts. Here is the hertz and the frequency of the electricity, and here the kilowatts hour. So we're going to leave it in watts, so that way you can see. So one thing that is very important when you are going to use a cable, don't be cheap. Get a very good cable. In this case, I have the cable that comes with a very powerful power supply, like I showed you before. So this one is great. And the power cable is very good. So if you're going to say, okay, because I mean with this unit you don't have any cable or anything like that. So if you're going to say, okay, I'm going to use just a regular cable from any computer, you will find out that the cables are so small, I mean so slim, as you can see, and they're going to overheat. And if the cable is very bad, you know, it can catch on fire or whatever, or it will melt. So I've seen cables melt in the past. So make sure that you have a very, very good cable. So I'm going to show you. Good cable on the left, crappy cable on the right. Make sure you have a good cable. So now we're going to plug it in here, and you're going to see the power consumption. So here, very easy, just connect it, that's it. So good, so far so good. So as you can see now, I don't know, maybe you cannot see, but this is spinning, so that is good. You're going to see some lights here, and we have to connect the Ethernet cable, otherwise it's going to beep, and you will see now we have very little consumption, I mean just 60 watts. I'm going to leave the Ethernet cable here. But once the unit start working, you will see the power consumption will skyrocket. So as you can see, we have the lights of the Ethernet cables. You see none of those lights on the right are blinking. So once it start blinking, the green ones, it means that everything is good. Anyway, I'm going to teach you how to set it up and everything. So if there is something wrong, like there is no internet or anything like that, you will see the Ethernet, the red LED light will be on all the time, and it will be beeping. So you see, now it's very noisy, so don't plan to have any of these in your living room or anything like that, otherwise you are not going to be happy. You can reduce the speed of the fan. I'm going to teach you how, but if you're going to do that, you have to make sure that you're going to have air condition and the unit will not overheat. Okay, great. Now it's blinking the green light, so that means that it's connected, and in a little bit it's going to be working. Usually it takes like 2 or 3 minutes to start working. So you will realize of that when the power consumption spike up. I forgot it wasn't hertz, that is why it was not working. So now I just reboot it. It's in watt now. You can see watt. So for the reflection, I couldn't see very well. And now it's 400 watts. So it's 400 watts. And now, as soon as I finish booting up, we will see that it's going to spike the power consumption. So as you can see, we're going to wait a little bit. Like I said before, it takes 2 or 3 minutes, and now it's going to skyrocket the consumption. Okay, now we hear the sound is stronger. Still a little bit, not much. We can see it's still in red. So when it's red, it's not doing anything. Now it's just cooling off the device. There we go. Now it's almost 1400 watts. So that is why I don't like to use the computer, the computer power supply, because it's going to be too much consumption for the power supply itself. Okay, now it's stable almost. 1412, 1413. Okay, cool. So now you're thinking, okay, that's fine. Now let's make a beep the unit. So now if I unplug the unit, if I leave it a little bit, it's going to start blinking the red lights, and you will hear a noise, a beeping noise from this beeper. Even though it's still hot, I'm going to show you. (36, 32 Celsius). 40, okay, because we don't have any power consumption now. I mean, we have 40, nothing. So in a little bit, it's going to start beeping. Okay, as you can see, we have the beeping sound, the red light. It means we don't have the connector here. Okay, now that we connected, as you can see, it went green, all up and running once again. So basically, that's it. So you can see we have the high power consumption now. Everything is up and running. Good. So now let's make one test with the thermometer. Okay, like 50, sometimes I see it going like 60, but okay, 50. It's like a hair dryer basically. So that was the temperature that we got. That's it. So now we're going to unplug it. I'll show you a small trick. So once we unplug the unit, you will see that the fan of the power supply will keep running for a few seconds. So now the unit, the Antminer is off, but you can hear the unit still up and running. That is because the capacitors, they still keep the charge. So make sure don't unplug anything, leave it like that until the fan is completely off. And once you have done that, you can unplug everything. So now we're going to unplug the unit, put it elsewhere so that way the noise will not bother us. And I'll show you how to set it up on your computer. Okay, now we are going to show you on the screen everything. So if you need to buy one of these machines, or if you want any tech support or anything like that, all my information is here on the video description, also on my website GabakUSA.com. So now we're going to change the screen so I can show you. Okay, before starting with this process, we are going to go to this website, as you can see, /pool. You can go to any other one, but at least this one, it has very good reputation, so that is why I choose it. I was working with another one that I didn't have very good results. So it's always important to get a good pool, so that way you can cache easier. Otherwise, if you are going to mine by yourself, yeah, is it possible, but it will take you more time. So at least with this, if you pool with more people, the more people you have, the more chances you have to get the money. So that way, of course, it will distribute the money around the people that are in the pool. If you have a powerful computer, or in this case, a powerful miner, you're going to have more money, of course. And if you have a crappy one, you're going to get less, but at least you're going to get something. So basically, what I'm going to show you is, let's start in the beginning. If you go here, you're going to sign in. I'll leave the URL in the video description, so that way you can click on it and you will use my affiliate link. If you want to use it, I think they will give you some advantage. So basically, you can set up for SEDA Cash or Bitcoin. So in this case, we're going to click on Bitcoin. So this is the basic. And first of all, you sign up and then log in. Once you log in, you're going to use a pool. So in this case, you're going to use this one. Or if you want maybe another one, like, I don't know, maybe you're in China, or maybe in another country, you're going to use one of those. So basically, you have to choose depending on the country where you are. So in this case, if you're in US like me, you can choose that one, basically. And once you know that, you're going to create a username. It depends on you, what username, so I have mine. Also, you're going to choose the name of the worker. The worker in this case will be the Ant machine, and the password, you can type anything. Anything. X, Y, C, ABC, whatever, and it will work. And the worker is the name that you're going to create. So I'm going to show you here. So now we're going to workers here, and as you can see, this is the hash power that I have right now, basically. And here, as you can see, this is the worker name that I choose. You can put any name that you want, and it will tell you here the hash power and everything, basically. And here, if you go to, let's go back, so I'll show you something else. So you create a new worker. You type the name, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, and then create, and that's it. That is the name of your worker. And the site may change, of course, over time, but basically that is how it works. So once you have done that, another thing that you have to do is check where you can set up the the wallet. So here you go, settings, Bitcoin, and here on top you set up your wallet. So if you don't know what is a wallet, it's a place where you're going to get your money. So there are many sites. One is blockchain.info. Yeah, I think this is one of, they say that is very good. I mean, you can try, give it a try. If you don't like that one, another one that I am using, so I'm giving it a try, is shacks.io, and this one works great as well. So once you have that, they will give you one address, and once you have the address, you're cool. So you're ready to go. I'll show you how an address looks like. We're going to get the shacks. Now we're going to download it for Windows, zip 64-bit. Yeah, save it, download it. Of course, if you want the best wallet, it will be like an offline wallet. I'll show you in a little bit, little about that. I'm going to save the wallet on the desktop. Cool. Now, once you have it over there, I'm going to show you later on how I did that, so that way you can see. Okay, once you run on the desktop, you're going to get something like that. So I'm going to click continue, and then we are going to create a new one. So I'll show you, accept, yeah, create a new one. So I don't care, I'm not going to use it for anything like more than for this video. You can click on custom if you want to, because here you can choose. The good thing about this wallet is that you have almost every coin available, at least for the main ones. So I'm going, in this case, I'm going to type Bitcoin, but if you want, let's say you want Ethereum, Dash, or something else, you can click on all of them. So I'm going to click continue. So here we're going to choose our currency, US dollar. I don't want this one, just I want to go back to the bottom. Okay, US dollar, cool. Okay, now continue. Yes, understand how the backup works. I'll teach you how it works. So basically, you're going to see, you see this, all these sentence is a nonsense sentence, but you have to memorize it. I mean, or just write it in paper and in a safe place. Otherwise, anybody who knows that password, they will be able to steal your money. So basically, it says confirm your phrase. So I don't want to confirm it because I will have to copy it and then do that. So I'm going to skip here. Say yeah, I understand how the pin works. So here you can type any pins in case, let's say, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. Something very easy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't use that one, please. Use something else. But it doesn't matter. This is just a test. I don't care. I will not use this wallet. So I have my own. I'm not going to share my thing. But basically, now you have the wallet. Great. You just click here. As you can see, it says copy it to the clipboard. So if you want to change the wallet, as you can see, you can click here on the top and it will change. So that is cool. So if just make sure, don't confuse. I mean, if you're going to give a wallet to someone, it's a Bitcoin, and the other person is going to pay you with Ethereum or something else, you will lose the money. So make sure that if you want to receive Bitcoin, you're going to give them the right wallet. Otherwise, it will be a disaster. So make sure about that. So now we're going to close this. Okay, I don't care. You can choose one or the other one. If you want, I mean, this one cool, but it doesn't have many wallets. Okay, now you have the wallet. You're going to copy and paste the wallet here. So that way you're going to be able to receive money. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to receive any money. So make sure about that. You can synchronize your device. So in this case, I have my phone here, and you click on connect, and that way you're going to have, you're going to see a QR code. so that way you're going to be able to sync it with your phone, and that's it. So that is very cool. So, and it works great here. I mean, if you want to change the password, email, and all of things. So basically, that is how it works. And here we have the hash power. Okay, great. So as you can see here, we have almost 3 terahashes. I mean, it should be like 4 something. It's still low. Surely over time it will increase. And as you can see here, here is the reward. I mean, like because I started just today with this new pool, so I have to see how it works and how much money I'm going to get. But I mean, you're going to get paid, basically. And now we're going to the Antminer. So the Antminer, you have to type here the IP. But if you don't know your IP, I'll show you how I found it. So basically, you're going to need some scanner like this. So as you can see here, you're going to click scan. It will scan all your network here. You just type here. I mean, you have to make sure that you have the IP set here. So it will scan all your network, and you will see your Antminer or all of them. So here you will see the one that says Texas Instrument. If I'm not mistaken, yep, Texas Instrument, here it is. Okay, that is the one that you're going to need, I mean, or the one that you're going to search for. So once you have that, great, cool. So as you can see, you're going to type this here. Once it will ask you for a password. So the password is root, so it's ROOT. The password is the same thing. So very basic. I'll show you in another browser. Okay, here I have another browser. As you can see, it will show you something like that. User, password, that's it. Now, once you have done that, cool. You're going to be in. And so here is the hash power. So you can see here is 4.7. So this is in gigahashes. But if you want to change the unit, it will be 4.7 terahashes. So basically that's it. So here on the pool, as you can see, you can set different pools, but I'm going to show you here in the beginning. So you can see here you have the temperature, the frequency, and everything. If you want, you can increase the frequency, but the life expectancy of this unit will decrease. So as you can see here on system, you have S7, that is the model. So here you have the hostname. You can change it later on. Here is based on Unix. Here is the model. Here is the kernel and everything else. Here is the date when it was created, I guess. Here you have the CG miner version is 4.8. Here you have the uptime, the load average. Here you have the RAM. Here you have the total available. The free one, the cache, and the IP status, like I showed you before. Here you have the IP, like I showed you before, the DHCP. You can change it to static with the net mask. So now we're going to change the next one. Here you can change the password. So always I recommend to change the password. Now we're going to monitor. So this will be, I mean, if you know about Linux, it's like top. If you type that on the terminal, you will see that. I'm going to show you that later on. So here in the kernel log, you should be able to see something here, but maybe it's not available or enabled. So here, if you want to create a backup, so let's say that you have many units and you want to just keep the same configuration all over the place, all over the board, you're going to create that. That's it. If you want to perform a factory default reset, let's say something is not working or whatever, so you click there. Let's say that you want to load the backup. You just browse, search the backup, and done. That's it. That is all you have to do, and upload it. In case if you want to upgrade the firmware, you can do that as well. So as you can see, here is the firmware. So, and we're going to see the last menu here, reboot. Just click here, reboot. No, there is no mystery here. Here on miner configuration, Here, yeah, like I say, you can type the pool, the number 1. Here, in case the pool fail or something like that, maybe you can use another pool or you can leave the same one. It makes no sense, to leave the same one. I was making a test in this case. But I'm going to replace this with something else in case one fails. I know that I can work in another one. Here, like I said before, password could be anything. Here you can type, if the fan is too noisy, you can increase it, you can decrease it, whatever. Here there is one that is very little one, so if you untick that one, you will see that even if the unit is running over 80 degrees, it will fry, but it will still work. So I recommend you to leave it like that, so that way you will protect the unit. The unit will stop working when 80 degrees is reached. And in this case, okay, fan, like I said before, if you want to change it. Let's say, I'll change it later on, because I want to show you something. Okay, here is the advanced settings. So the frequency, if you want to overclock the unit, you can choose 1000 or more, less, whatever you want. Remember, the more you overclock it, it will last less usually. And here you have the miner link. I couldn't make it work. So this, if you go to this website like you see here, I think maybe it was here, maybe it's not. Okay, I'll show you. So it wasn't working when I tried to go there, and that's it. That is all you see. So I cannot teach you how to use it if it doesn't work. Okay, let's go to miner status. This is the main one that you're going to see. This is the speed, like I said before. Found blocks, if you found something. Here you see the live one is the first one, the second one, the number 1 or 2 are not going to be, they're alive, of course, but you're going to just work on one, that's it. And if that one fails, it going to go to the second one and then to the third one. Here, as you can see, we have the temperatures kind of high because I wanted to have less noise in the environment. So if there is something wrong, you will see a dot of lines here. So, but in this case, all the 3 boards are working perfectly. So that is the 0, what the 0 means. So you want to have zeros everywhere. Here you have the fan. So in this case, it's 4000. We don't have more than one fan. So in case if you have more than one, you will see more. But in this case, it's just one. That is the speed that we have, 4000. And after that, okay, network. Here, like I said before, if you want, you can change the IP. You can leave it in DHCP, static. If you leave it in static, it's because your router will not doesn't have any option to fix one's IP with X MAC address. So if you know the MAC address, you can fix it that way, and it will stay static. Otherwise, it will change all the time. If you have just a simple router, yes, static. So that way it will not change over time. You know that 69 is always the S7. And if you want 70 maybe or another number to be another Ant machine or whatever else, you can do it. So we're going to leave it in DHCP. In this case, it's for example. And here you have the diagnostic. If you want to check maybe the ping, maybe you're thinking, well, maybe I'm losing packets or something. If you want to use the trace route, you can do it as well. If you're thinking that you're having some problem with the DNS, you can use the NS lookup. They work just fine. You can change the website. So if you want something else, you can do it as well. And otherwise, use whatever you have here. So as you can see, we have a perfect connection from here to the pool. To this website. And here, if you click here, it will do the trick. Now I'm going to try to change the speed of the fan, so that way the temperature will decrease when the fans goes higher. So you can see it works. Okay, 72, 74, 75. Okay, that is the temperature. So now we're going here in general settings. As you can see, we're going to put 90. Wow, now it's going to be noisy. But if you have air condition, maybe you're living in Alaska or something like that, you may not care, and maybe you have it just in 50% or 30%. Maybe it will be more than enough. But in this case, if you have a room temperature, the thing will be different. So in this case, we're going to miner status. As you can see, the temperature dropped, so like 10 degrees less. So basically, the more speed, the less temperature. I mean, that is how it works. So I think that is all you need to know in order to make it work this unit and to make it successful. Now I'm going to show you with PuTTY in case if you don't know, but in case you want to do something extra and you can't do it, on the GUI, you will have to use PuTTY in case if you don't know it. Surely I'll make some classes about this. So you type the IP, you went to the other screen, let me catch it, move it back. It will be kind of slow. Okay, user root, password admin, that is the default credentials. Those are the default credentials in case if you want to use for something. Top if you want to, so that way you can see the consumption of the CPU consumption. Q, I don't know, you want to do something else with this, but make sure that if you do something else or if you don't know what you're doing, you can break this unit. So make sure, on Bitmain, they say that you're going to void the warranty if you start messing up with the SSH. So it's something that you have to be very aware. So here I try to use the power off, but it didn't power off the computer. So the only thing I can do is reboot. So I hope you have enjoyed this class. I know it was a little bit long, but this is all you need to know. So I hope you have enjoyed. Remember, if you reach this point, let me know it in the comment in the section below. Right, I finished the class. Remember, if you want more class, you can go to the playlist, or if you want to buy my computer classes, you can go to GabakUSA.com. Also, click on like, subscribe, and see you next time. Thanks.